When he began his musical journey in the four walls of the church by learning how to sing in choirs, that is where he found his voice. He has performed all throughout his childhood and adolescence, from singing in church to playing in school bands and performing in school musicals, to making an audition appearance on American Idol.
But ever since he's learned or teamed up or done duets with other aspiring young upcoming artists like these ones or this one, then the uplifting motivation begins, and I can't tell you, I can't wait for this because it gives us great pleasure to welcome these two talented young ones. Please welcome Sam Champagne and Michael Wingate! Woo! Woo! Wow, I'll tell you, that's one thing for sure, you know, here. So, Via, you have the first question here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to jump in and ask you a question, Sam. Reading your story really made me smile. Your message and the emotional feeling that you experienced when creating music was so beautifully explained. So when did your love for storytelling through music begin? And can you remember like that very first time that you created music?
The very first time I created music, ooh, that was a long time ago. Let me see, I always had a love for writing. And when it came to creating music, I first fell in love with production. So going on the computer and creating beats and creating just full like compositions on the computer. And I'm a very tech kind of girl. So my love for it started there when I was just like 7 years old on the family computer, seeing my brothers do it and then like imitating them. And I guess I just stuck onto it.
Well, it looks like it definitely paid off.
Yes. Yeah, because you know, I was also reading here that you plan to be like a future Grammy-winning composer writer for 2028.
Yes, come on now. I would love
Yes.
It's kind of like, I want to put that year there because one of my mentors and one of my the most inspirational and most influential people in my life, her name is Arlen Hamilton. She's a venture capitalist. She supported my career when I started performing in the subways, and she paid for my tuition to school. And what ended up happening is I read her story in the autobiography that she wrote, and in it she remembered putting in an email letter header, I'm gonna do this in about 2 years, like fund about 50 people in about 2 years before she even funded her first person. So that was kind of the inspiration behind that. I'm gonna win a Grammy by 2028 and just speaking it and letting God hear that and just, you know.
That's right, put it out into the universe. It scientifically is proven that that helps.
Yes.
It really does when you put your
motivator.
energy toward it. That's beautiful.
Yes. Go ahead.
So you also grew up in New York City, which you just touched a little bit on about your experience singing in the subway. Obviously, this is an incredibly magical place full of creative energy.
Yeah.
How did that influence you getting into all of this?
Well, honestly, it started just seeing other people do it. As you'll learn, I actually met Michael through a vocal class where we both performed and worked on our craft together. And I saw other people from that same vocal class, shout out Craig Derry for doing that vocal class. He's amazing, quite amazing vocal coach. Yes, he was a vocal coach to many stars that I can't even begin to list them. But seeing other people from that vocal class go out into the subways and also perform and see how they got used to singing in front of people. I was such a shy person. And like, it's a very hard thing to do. Like I said, I used that as a tool to fund my way to engineering school initially. And I then used that eventually after I finished engineering school, after I left it, to just sing in front of people and just like enjoy the feeling of being able to like serve those a part of the community in New York City.
That's beautiful.
Yes, and Michael, you worked with Sam Champagne for a while now, but you also work with other artists as being on American Idol, and you know, we actually have a clip of your audition with Demi Ray. Okay, let's take a look at that, shall we? Yes.
I'm gonna love you like you're gonna lose you.
It's pretty cool. We just met each other. It kind of seems like we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, we're kindred spirits at heart.
Like I'm gonna lose you.
Look at this, and you're wearing the same thing that you wore on American
Yeah,
Idol.
I did not plan on it.
So tell us what about your experience singing with Demi Ray, and what did she mean to you when you did that duet with her, when you sung the songs with Synergy singing Like I'm Gonna Use You by Meghan Trainor and John Legend. Here.
So I love Demi. She's an incredible person. We obviously met through American Idol. The second round of Hollywood Week, it's usually a group duet, but that year was the first year that they started doing duets. So everybody was like scrambling around trying to find a partner, and I don't know, we just like landed on each other, and I hadn't heard her first Hollywood Week performance, and the two of us ended up together, and people were like walking around the room being like, oh, the two of you are together, y'all are gonna kill it, da 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 da, and I was like, oh, that's great. But we got to talking, and she has like a very similar, I guess, story to mine, the relationship that we have with our family and whatnot, and she's an incredible singer, did so well, love her to death, still talk to her now. She's over there in California. Yeah. Wonderful experience singing with her.
Yes.
Beautiful. So your journey didn't just start at American Idol, obviously. We have a big backstory, and you went on such an amazing journey before you got to that point. So from singing in church to doing school musicals to hitting hard times, but then going to Harvard and traveling the world. How did that impact where you are now, and how did that help drive you to follow your dream?
Wow.
Weighty question.
Yeah,
She put you on the spot.
Take a minute. Sorry, take a minute.
well, I guess every moment that you exist is informed by all of the experiences that you had before, and I've just been fortunate enough to have enough of them to really give myself perspective. I always wanted to actually be a lawyer when I was growing up. That's like the thing I wanted to do. I wanted to like go to Harvard and like be a lawyer and like save the world before bedtime. Like that was the thing. And I always grew up singing. Music was always a big part of my life, but I always thought it was going to be a thing that I would just kind of do on the side. It wasn't something that I had intended to pursue. And once I got to college, I joined this a cappella group, the one that I got a chance to tour the world with. They're called the Harvard Crocodillos. And they go on this summer tour every year that spans 3 to 5 continents, like 11 to 15 different countries. And after doing that a couple times, I was like, wow, I can't not do music for the rest of my life. I decided halfway through that I just wanted to be a pop star. So I threw the whole lawyer thing kind of out the window, or at least I put it on the back burner, I could say. And I graduated, I moved out to New York City, and I've been like doing the music thing, And I went on American Idol, and came back from that, had a wonderful experience there, and the world ended with COVID or whatever, and we're still kind of getting back together.
Do you want to give Demi Ray a shout out on camera?
Hey, Debbie, what you doing, girl? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Show me some love.
Look in the, yeah, there you.
Which one am I?
Yeah, which one are you on?
Which one are you on? What am I
all
looking
of them
at?
All of them. Four.
I'm looking over
right
here.
4, right here.
Row
Right
4.
here. Right
Hey,
here.
Demi, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. Shouting you out. Y'all, listen to Demi Ray's music. The girl can sing. Okay, all right. Appreciate
Yes. Yes. And I want to say, you two are performing Hallelujah and Amy Winehouse. I can't wait to hear these, because I know you two have got to go on. Because when I first saw them, they got me grooving in the Motown era, But the last question I want to bring in, and I know we got to go, because you wrote this song Crazy, Sam, with Amber Lee. Well, tell us about the experience with working with Amber Lee, because that name just sounds familiar, like I went to school with someone, but it's a different Amber Lee, I think, here.
Yeah. Well, that was actually a lack of a better word, crazy experience, because I wrote the song about a year before I actually went on to release it, and what ended up happening was I remember spending so many days just in my room on laser focus, just writing and rewriting that song and explaining my experience as a person devoted to her craft. And what ended up happening is I wrote the lyrics, but I was having trouble with everything else about the music. So I just put it to the side, and then one day I went on Instagram and I saw Mike Shinoda's Instagram, if you know him from Linkin Park. He put out this message to his fans saying, hey, I'm producing fan related songs. And so I was like, you know what? I have a song sitting around. Let me just go ahead and post that on YouTube and perform it for him. And so I posted on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, and he saw it. And that was absolutely amazing. His fan base is so supportive. And so Mike actually went ahead and took the song and he produced around it. I actually got my friend Amber to sing it for me because I didn't want to be the singer at the time. I thought her voice is so beautiful, such a beautiful voice. And I actually met her through the vocal class as well.
Wow.
So many stars passed through that vocal class, and
Too many of them.
too many. It's an absolute
Always
blessing.
take that chance. That's the
Yeah.
lesson of that story. It's
Always.
always just try. Just give it a shot. 'Cause
That's
look what
literally
happens.
what it is.
Exactly.
And from then on, we took that song, we made it, recorded it, and now it's out and it's doing really well.
I'm glad it's doing very well. I just want to hear these two songs right
too.
away. So listen, when we get back, you're going to hear these two turn it up a little bit. All right? We'll be right back, y'all. Woo!